The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are that of the hosts and guests respectively and do not represent the views or standpoints of any associated companies or organisations. This podcast is to create awareness of different health topics and not intended to replace professional medical advice.
We are not medical experts of any of the topics discussed in the health room and advise you seek professional advice from your healthcare providers. Hi, I'm Fiona.
Hi, I'm Lamide.
And welcome to the health room.
Yay, back again.
So, how you been?
I've been good. You know, I went on holiday.
Oh,
Remember, I went to Asia with my friend, Southeast Asia. So it was so nice. It was a good trip. It was like 2 weeks. She's a good person to travel with. Like my friend really
just one. You
just
and
me,
one friend.
me and Minnie. Yeah, we've known each other since we were like 18.
Oh.
So university. So honestly, best person to travel with. I love her. We had a good time. Like, oh,
like, where did you go? Like, what countries?
Where did we start off? We started off in. Where did we start off? Oh my god, where did we start off? Singapore.
Oh.
So we were in Singapore for a couple of days, and that was lovely. Singapore's very modern and green. It's just so easy to get around. I feel like anyone could live there. Like, it's just beautiful. Then we went to Malaysia, so Kuala Lumpur. That was also very nice. We probably didn't get the best food spots, but we had a good time though. Wasn't I mean, if we ranked it, it wasn't our favourite, but it was still a good time.
Okay, cool.
Then we went to Phuket. Was it Phuket?
Yeah, Phuket.
Phuket. That was good.
Phuket is vibes.
That was we had the best time. So we went to I forgot what area in Phuket, but it was just Phuket. I think it was Phuket town or whatever.
What was around like?
So
was it the strip?
We weren't in the street. We weren't near Patong. We did go there for a day, but I don't know where we were. It felt like it was far from Patong, maybe like an hour, but it was still so nice. Our hotel was wonderful. Had a pool. It was just like, oh, this is a life that we deserve. It was so good, and the food was probably the best in Phuket. I would say.
Yeah.
I think she would say the same, or maybe Singapore. And then after that, we spent the last couple of days in Bangkok, and Bangkok is busy. You think London is busy?
No.
Bangkok is busy, as in...
Yeah. I told you my honeymoon, we did 3 days in Bangkok and then we did Phuket, 7 days.
We should have done that because we did Bangkok tired us. We were like, okay, rush hour was like 2 hours.
It's crazy.
We were in an Uber for like 2 hours. I was like, this isn't normal.
It's crazy. Like, you're literally in traffic just the whole time.
Literally.
Like, but then we, there was one day I used one of the, the tuk-tuk.
Yes.
That was fun.
They're fast as
and
well,
I remember at that time I used to use Snapchat. I don't use Snapchat anymore.
Yeah, I love Snapchat.
I remember putting on Snapchat, people are like, Fiona, this man's going to kill
Be
you.
careful.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, it was like, he was like, screw.
Basically, and they can squeeze through so you can get there faster.
Yeah.
We wanted to get a bike, but because we went during rainy season, the rain was crazy. As in, there was one day where we literally got drenched. As in, you couldn't even go out because you're gonna get soaked. Everyone was just waiting for it to like settle. It was that bad, and Ubers and Bolts were so busy. I think I had to wait like 45 minutes to get an Uber or Bolt back to the hotel. It was crazy.
Okay, no, that's fun.
But no, overall it was a great time. Like, had the best time, good trip, best time with her, just quality time with a good friend. So it was really nice.
Good.
So just very, what's the word? Is it satisfied or happy? Just very content with life with that at that point. So yeah. But how are you doing?
I'm good. Busy as per usual.
Of course, always.
Girl, busy as per usual. But I'm really excited. One of my closest girls is getting married next week.
Yeah, I love that.
Cannot wait. You know when they say like, oh, I'm going to dance like David danced. That's like, we have all said that we are going to dance like David.
I love that.
Because like, this is our girl and she does everything for everyone.
Oh,
she's one of them people. So you know to yourself that when it's her calling you
need to go all out.
You need to turn up.
Literally.
So I'm like, I've got my dress, well, it's semi-made. Got my dress made, went to the tailor yesterday actually. Going to pick it up this weekend. Probably get my nails and everything done.
Yes,
I'm
of course.
really excited. I'm just like,
that's the exciting part
this
of
is
it.
going to be quite fun.
Oh,
I need to go change my
yay.
money because we need to spray her well.
Spray. And the spraying is important.
So, it's very important.
For real.
So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward
that's
to.
gonna be a
But
good time.
other than that, it's just my usual busyness.
Yeah.
Back and forth, mum life.
Of course.
But then, yeah, I just, you have those little things to look forward to. Going on holiday at the end of the month as well. So preparing for that.
Yes.
And it's an all-inclusive.
Oh,
so
that's the best.
I feel like I'm going to come back like.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
It's the end of
I'm
the
not
year.
complaining.
It's the end of the year. Everyone is blooped together.
I always say that October to December period, diets don't exist.
It's a write-off. I mean, in January we go again. We get on the treadmill.
Yeah.
And we start walking.
Health is wealth.
Literally, we start
New
doing
year, new
10k
me.
steps a day. We start drinking water by the gallon. That's January. But until then, we can just chill.
No. Yeah.
Well,
That's
yeah, we can
what
chill.
I'm planning to do.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm happy for you. I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures and stuff. So
Yeah, it's gonna be cute.
I cannot wait.
So yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, other than
Yay.
that, that's me.
Okay, cool. Aw, yay. Happy to be back in the studio.
I know, right?
So we are actually filming our second episode. Super excited. We've had lots of feedback on our first episode. I'm so excited. Do you want to share, Fiona, what we got?
Yeah. So we've got lots of good feedback. Essentially, people did like the fact of like what we are coming to talk about, some of the topics that we are going to come and bring, which I was like, okay. We did get a lot of like constructive feedback, I would say.
Thank you.
Where, you know, they were just giving us little tips, little pointers, things to be aware of, things to look out for, which we really appreciate. So we appreciate everyone's feedback, by the way. There were some funny bits, but yeah, it was just like, all right, cool.
No,
But honestly, like, we just want to say thank you to everyone because we were not expecting that. I can't lie. I don't know for you, but me, I was expecting like cute little 10 views, cute little one comment here.
Yeah.
And the love people showed, especially,
Honestly.
remember that the night that we actually uploaded it, it was
Honestly,
crazy.
I loved it.
Like, we were messaging each other like, girl, oh my gosh, like
It's
the likes are
live.
coming in.
I
And
know.
we were just like so overwhelmed with the love that people were showing us. I was just like, oh, this is beautiful. So just to say thank you, everyone who tuned in, who listened, who subscribed, who liked, who shared our first episode. It meant so much to us. You have no idea how much that meant to us. So we just want to say thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm super excited to go on this journey of building our community. So yeah, super happy. Okay. The next segment we want to introduce, I guess, into the podcast, sorry, is what's in the news.
Yeah.
So Fiona and I are gonna every episode just bring a little topic, discuss it briefly, and then go from there. So what's in the news? What's been in the news for you, Fiona, about like health and well-being lately?
Yeah. So one story that when I heard it, I was a bit like, I found it some way, let me say, was the story about the esthetician, the beautician that gave out a liquid BBL to the lady, and unfortunately the lady died. This was a mother, I think she was 33.
33, yes.
A mother of 5.
Yes.
She had the liquid BBL and unfortunately died. I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, when I heard that story, it shocked me, number one, because I was like, I never heard about anything about liquid BBL before. I know of, the girls going Turkey, BBL, no problem. I think we even talked about it on the first episode.
We did.
But then I've never heard of a liquid one. So that was quite alarming to me. And then the fact that it was like she died from it. And I think she's the first person that has died in the UK from this procedure.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
And it was just a bit disheartening because I was just like, that's now a family that's lost their mum, lost their partner. And I don't know if I don't know the person, but I don't know if the beautician was qualified.
I don't think he was.
He was not.
I don't think he was.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't think he. Well, to be honest, I looked online, and to be fair, to give a liquid BBL, you haven't got to be a healthcare professional. You haven't got to be registered.
What?
Yeah, so there's courses available online, or you go to them, maybe like a grand upwards.
Courses online.
Yes, so I think.
So not practical.
No, well, it is practical. Like you'll go in, but it's not like a doctor that's doing it. It's not always a doctor. It could just be a beautician or it's not like a nurse or something. It could be anyone. So anyone can basically give this. So when I did some research on that, I'm hoping that this will drive some initiative for the government to put legislation in place. That it should be done by someone who is like accredited and someone that we can trace and, someone that is qualified, because it's risky business. Do you know what I mean? And a lady's lost her life. She had 5 daughters.
Can you imagine?
I know. So it's really, really sad. So I think the guy got arrested.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw on the news that he got arrested. I saw him put on shades when he got arrested. I was like, excuse me, show yourself.
Literally.
Because the crimes you've committed. Like, what do you mean?
Honestly.
It was just, I was so disheartened by that because I was just like, how do you feel like you... But then again, on the flip side, I guess it wasn't intentional. He didn't think
No,
that,
I don't think he was going to, no,
exactly.
exactly.
He didn't think anything like that. But at the same time, it's like... it's just a sad story.
It's a sad story, but
and obviously our condolences to the family.
Definitely.
What story or what news article have you found in?
So mine's similar. Well, not similar, but basically a lady who unfortunately was buying a weight loss drug online. She had bought it before from like a pharmacy, but this time she bought it from an online beauty store. And
Online beauty store.
Yes, and it was actually found out to be counterfeit, and she ended up going into a coma. But thankfully, the hospital were able to save her, and they saved her life. But it just made me think, okay, when buying certain medications or buying anything that's going into your body, that's meant to do anything for you, it's important to go to a reputable source.
Of course.
Literally, if you have any doubts, don't do it. Or worst case, call your local healthcare professional, call your pharmacist, call your GP, just get a second opinion. But thankfully, she was saved. Do you know what I mean? So it's just about doing our due diligence. So if you don't know, ask somebody.
Of course.
But thankfully, she was saved, so it's all good. But it's just scary that people are actually selling counterfeit drugs. Do you know what I mean? So we just have to be careful.
I think we're in that space now in life where everyone just kind of wants a quick fix to something. It's never just, I want to work hard. Let me go to the gym. Let me spend a year on my body. Let me build. No, it's just, I don't like this or this bit of fupa. Let me just, take a weight loss drug. And of course, if it will work for some people.
For sure.
So that's why I think sometimes things like social media and things like that, they're glamorizing these.
Oh yeah, for
because
sure.
People are seeing these quick fixes
fix.
and you've done a BBL or you've done a taken a weight loss drug, and they're just thinking, okay, I can do
that. Yeah.
But then not everyone will have those same outcomes, and not everyone will be able to get not everyone will have the same outcomes.
No, exactly. I think
Which
it's
is quite
just it's sad and scary, but thankfully I'm just so thankful that she came out of it, because imagine and even then, I did some more research. The company that sold it, they ceased trading, so they can even be traced? Probably, but it's probably going to be a bit difficult. Whereas if it was a reputable source, we could find them, do the audit trail. Do you know what I mean? Certain people be punished, but they've just closed their business just like that. Do you know what I mean? They might open another one and do it again. So it's just about...
See, that's the craziest thing.
It's just about being careful, really. Do you know what I mean? These things need to be regulated. So hopefully these things will cause some, okay, let's actually start to do something. So, yeah, that's what's in the news for me.
Oh,
I know.
So these are both sad stories.
Both sad stories.
Next episode we come with good news.
Good health stories.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll try.
Crossed, yeah.
Yes, we'll try.
But I feel like those two were quite important actually.
No, exactly. So just about doing our due diligence, research, and
regulation.
If in doubt,
like
just ask someone. Get 4 or 5 opinions if you have to. That's okay. So yeah.
Amazing.
But that is our What's in the News segment. Okay, should we get into the thick of it? Cool. Get to the real part.
So, for our visual audience, those that are watching on YouTube, you will see that Lamade and I are wearing purple. Yay. So, we are wearing purple to celebrate Lupus Awareness Month, which is celebrated throughout the month of October in the UK.
Yeah, so we're going to now change our logo to purple to celebrate Lupus Awareness Month. Yay. So this episode is literally focused on lupus. So let me actually explain to you guys what lupus is. I'm going to give you the definition from lupusuk.org.uk. So you can check out the website if you want to, and you can see it there as well. So lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease where the immune system is dysfunctional and mistakenly identifies the body's own tissues as foreign invaders. In people with lupus, the immune system creates autoantibodies to attack the body's tissues. These form immune complexes which cause inflammation and damage, possibly affecting the organs and or the joints in some patients. Lupus disproportionately affects women of colour, so Black, African, Caribbean and Asian. And yeah, that's the definition from lupusuk.org.uk.
So to break that down further, essentially lupus is a disease where the body's immune system gets confused. So normally the immune system fights off infections and keeps us healthy. But with lupus, it accidentally affects or fights against the healthy parts of our body.
Yeah.
So see it as if like a superhero, let's say Batman, for instance. We know that Batman's job is to save us from the bad guys. Mm-hmm. So Batman will fight the bad guys.
Yes, correct. Yes.
So Batman's in town,
exactly,
fighting the bad guys. But then can you imagine now Batman turns around and starts fighting the civilians? That's essentially what lupus does.
Analogy,
I know that's a crazy analogy.
No, but that makes sense. That makes sense.
That's the analogy
exactly.
that kind of makes sense. So
exactly.
That's what lupus essentially is. Some of the facts about lupus: it's an autoimmune disease, and the symptoms do vary. So this can be from person to person, from case to case. People with lupus have unpredictable flares, and as you said, it mostly affects women. So it's about 90% affects women, and normally of like a reproductive age.
Yes.
So that's like 15 to about maybe 55.
Yeah, yeah.
So it affects women of the Asian and African communities more. It also affects men and children, but at obviously a much less percentage.
Compared
I
to
think
women.
Together, they make up 10% of the cases of lupus. There's no cure, I'm afraid. So there is no cure for lupus at the moment anyway. So it is a chronic condition. Most of the common types of lupus are SLE, which is like the most common type. So that affects many parts of the body. Or cutaneous lupus, which mainly affects the skin.
Yeah.
There are other forms of lupus, like drug-induced lupus as well. So it just seems like one of those conditions that it can be triggered by a lot of external factors as well. So yeah, it would be nice to learn more about that, actually.
Definitely. And now we have a special guest in the building. The special guest is our close friend who actually has lupus. So can our close friend please introduce themselves and tell us a bit about their journey into being diagnosed with lupus, please?
Hi guys, firstly, thank you for having me on.
Of course. No, thank you for coming, honestly.
Oh, this is so new.
We are so excited to have you. Nothing to understand. So yeah, we're super excited to have you.
Okay, so first of all, my name's Leanne and I've been a loopy warrior since 2008.
Oh wow.
So
I didn't know that long.
Yeah, it's been a long
time.
journey. Yeah. But it's had its ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's been a thing in life, But I would say the hardest part of it all was getting the initial diagnosis, because I think it took up to about maybe 5 years to get initial diagnosis. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a very long time.
How did that come about? Like, were you feeling ill? What kind of led to you going to the doctor?
Do you know how it first started? I had like a little tiny rash on my arm. And I went to the GP about it and he told me it was a fungal infection.
Okay.
So he gave me the antifungal creams and then I was applying them. But then I thought to myself, but hold on, like fungal infections start in dark, warm, moist places. So it's like, but it's on the outside of my arm. How can, you know? So I went back to him and I was saying to him, I don't think it's a fungal thing because it's not going away. It's not moving. And he was like, no. I know what I know.
Oh god. These GPs. Trust me.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So I was just like, do you know what? I want a second opinion. So at that point, he referred me to a dermatologist and I started seeing this dermatologist. And I always say I got really lucky when I got this woman because she didn't just look at face value and she fought for me you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it started off like, let me first say, my lupus, so I have SLE, but I have like a what do they call it? Like a sub-condition of SLE. So I've got SLE, but I've got subacute cutaneous lupus, subacute cutaneous lupus. Yeah, so where they say like lupus affects your organs, my organ is the skin.
Okay.
Sort of thing, yeah.
So I guess it wouldn't affect any other part of your body. Yours is just your skin.
Well, at the moment, it's just my skin.
Okay.
But I do have to get reviewed quite frequently just to make sure that none of my other organs, because it can happen that your other organs get involved later on. So they just have to keep a check. And then like another thing is because of the medications I'm on, I also have to get my eyes checked very frequently because they can affect your eyesight and stuff like that.
Okay.
So in terms of that, like getting the diagnosis period, it was like, because it was my skin, so they always had to try and get a biopsy of the skin. But whenever I went, the rash wasn't live.
Okay.
So, but in my blood tests and stuff, I had the signs and the pointers. I think don't ask me of all the technical
It's fine.
things.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
But yeah, so I always had the pointers in my blood, but I didn't have any of the, like, how could we say? I didn't have enough of those pointers, because I think the way they kind of diagnose it, you've got to have like 7
7 symptoms.
different things within that blood work, and I didn't have all of them, but I had the one that is mainly seen with lupus.
Okay.
So from that, she was like, okay, even though everybody's kind of counting you off, I'm going to send you to rheumatology. Rheumatology discharged me, said there's nothing wrong with her. And,
Wow.
and like throughout all this time, it was getting worse. I was getting tired, joints were hurting, and all of this. So she basically said, all right, no, I'm not having it. She referred me to 2 different hospitals. I don't know if I'm allowed to say names in.
I would say,
Don't say no names.
maybe don't say the
Not
name.
yet.
We don't want to get sued.
Not yet.
Sued.
You can
Please, quiet.
few hospitals.
Yeah,
That's
A
okay.
hospital, 2 hospitals done.
That's it.
So yeah, she referred me to two. First of all, it was one certain hospital. We shall not name names. And basically during that time, I saw a lot of like locum, so I didn't have that continuous care. But each time I went, the doctors that I was seeing were saying, and by that time as well, because the way the rash kind of comes up, it's red, but obviously my skin's black, so it's not
deepness to it.
Yeah. So I was getting things like being said to me like, I'm sure you can see it, but I can't see anything. And
Child, let's not get started on that
I was
topic.
gonna say, like, I'm really trying to hide like bite my
Honey.
tongue because
it's real. It's
It
real.
is
Yeah,
real. It is
of
real.
you know?
Yeah.
And like when I went back to her and told her all of those things, she was livid. So eventually she wrote to, there's a professor that's quite big in the research of lupus who has a clinic at another certain hospital.
It's fun.
And he decided that, yes, he can see something, and he took me on as one of his patients.
good.
And since then, it's like, I must say, I've had the best care.
Oh, I
in
love that
terms-
for you.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I say that I'm lucky because a lot of people don't get to go to,
No,
you know,
they
don't
don't.
get this.
No.
And I got it quite early because like them sort of times, 2003, nobody really knew what lupus was. You didn't really heard of it.
No.
See, even today,
Even
like,
today, I was gonna.
Even
say,
today, a lot of people like we mention it to were like,
Yeah.
"What's lupus?" I'm like, "Oh,
we spoke to people like coming up, like,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, we're doing our next pod on lupus. What's that?
yeah.
and I was like, oh."
And do you know what I hear a lot of the time as well? It's like when I say, yeah, I've got lupus. Oh, I know someone with lupus, but she died.
Oh,
What?
okay, that's not funny, but oh my god,
I'm like,
What the world?
Why would you
even
even
if that's
say
what you're
that?
thinking,
And then what am I supposed to go home and do?
you know?
you know, with lupus, the first time I ever heard of it, ever, was Tony Braxton.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah,
Tony Braxton,
and then
yeah.
it was like, I was like, okay, so what is this disease? And then, as a curious BS I went to Google it, and then that's when I kind of learned about lupus. But that was like my first introduction. I never heard of it like for anybody in this country. I was quite young when I heard this as well, so I thought, oh my god, is it an American disease? Like I didn't know anything about it. So
You don't really hear about it.
don't.
No,
In this
you
country,
don't. You actually don't. No. I remember learning about it at uni, but I remember we didn't learn a lot about it. Maybe like a few slides compared to everything else we had to learn. But it was barely like a massive topic. And then Tony Braxton had it, did the research, actually learned about it in more detail. And yeah.
And that's the thing as well, because it's like you guys, Tony Braxton was the first person I heard about it. But then when I looked at Tony Braxton, I was like, hers doesn't look like mine. Like, I've got a lot of scarring and stuff like that. But then one of the other people that I found out had it was Seal. So I don't know if you know that singer Seal.
Oh, yes, yeah, yeah.
And you see like all of the marks he has on his face.
Yeah. I never
That's
knew
because
that.
he has
We
lupus.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's
wow.
why I was like, oh, okay. So it does look different.
On everybody.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing as well, because when I was 18, I developed vitiligo. And at the time, nothing was thought about it. But then when I was diagnosed with lupus, they said the fact that I had an autoimmune when I was younger was a sign that I would maybe develop something later on in life. because they say with autoimmune, it's kind of like you never just get one.
Yeah, they're kind of hand in hand with, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I read online as well.
So, yeah. So
Oh,
that
wow.
was
But no, thank you for sharing. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm so happy you had that dermatologist who fought for you.
Exactly.
Honestly, I think it's so important that we have. To be fair, most HCPs should be fighting for us, and a lot of them do. It's just overworked and
Yeah.
this.
paperwork.
It's
The
paperwork.
resources
This
there's
no,
lack of resources
exactly.
as well. So they're just kind of gonna say in out. They're not really thinking, all right, I really need to pay close attention to you and your condition. So I did want to ask, how do you cope mentally and emotionally with any kind of like lupus flare-ups or anything like that?
Whew.
If you have any.
Yeah, that was something that I had to learn to deal with because, like, my previous, I call it like my previous life and my lupus life. And like in my previous life, I was kind of get up and go.
Yeah.
I was working in the finance industry, so you know that's quite fast paced,
Yeah.
long hours. And with lupus, I just had to kind of learn to stop because there was a point where I was in full-time employment and I had that was my first really bad flare and I actually got signed off of work for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
With that. And it was just like my body just completely shut down. I lost weight, like I was like a size 4 and like, yeah, I've never been that small. I was just skin and bone. And during that time, I just really had to sit down. I was at home. I moved back home because I wasn't able to kind of like, didn't have the energy to do anything
For yourself.
myself.
Yeah.
And so when I got home, Mum was just feeding me up like with the cornmeal porridge.
Trying to get you,
Mum's
yeah.
cooking.
Literally trying to picking you up like eat.
And it's like I didn't have appetite. So
Yeah,
she
so
was
it's
like,
hard.
yeah, so she was like, my
Exactly.
favourite thing is fried dumpling. All right, fried dumpling it is. Like every day it was fried dumpling. And it was just, I lost a lot of confidence as well because of all the scarring and all of that. Like it started off on my arms and then for some reason it hasn't affected my legs. It's just literally the upper half of my body it's affected. And then even like certain things, like so many things come into it, like you wouldn't think because of the medication you're on, so it suppresses your immune system. So I have a lot of dental issues, like gum disease. I will always have gum disease no matter what I do, no matter how many times a day I floss because the immune system's not there.
It's just not strong enough to protect.
So I can't
Yeah.
fight. The thing that got me the most though was losing my hair. And I battled with that because I was like, Leanne, it's just hair.
I know, but as a black girl, our hair is
Our
like.
hair is everything to us.
And I tell you,
It is.
so
Our
we
hair
get
is
it. That's
everything.
honestly.
And that used to be my thing because it's like I used to have quite long hair. It was past my shoulders. And it's like everyone knew me for having the hair sort of thing. And so it's like now that my hair's gone, like, not that my hair's my identity. But
I know,
it's
but
like,
still,
It is
you
for
know,
love for black
That's our
girls.
thing,
We
right?
hold it so high, like so.
But your hair's still lovely.
Your hair's still
anyway.
lovely. You got lovely texture, and the color is. Did you call
Yeah.
it? This is your own. This is natural color, or did you?
no, it's coloured. It's due a touch up, but
Oh, I
No,
love
no,
it
no, it's
though.
lovely.
I love it. It looks
Like
really
that
nice.
hint of like plum.
when it's
Like a
when it's
deep-
fresh, it's like a purpley.
Oh, I love that.
there's
I love that.
I can see it.
It's really cute. So that must
Fitting
have
for today's
been
episode actually.
exactly.
See, I did come with a little.
Exactly. Get a little side. It's okay, girl. It's okay. So, like, with losing your hair and with lupus, how did you get back to building your confidence back up to be like, okay, this is lupus. It doesn't define me. I'm still gonna live my life and be me. How long did that take, and how did you get there?
I think for me, my kind of thing was building myself from the inside up. So I changed my diet completely, like over time, obviously, but I eventually went vegan. And I've heard with a lot of people that that's also helped them. So that was one of the reasons why
I've heard
I
of it.
thought, let me try it.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, that even though I have a lot of fatigue and like muscle and joint pain, exercise helps alleviate all of that.
Oh,
So yeah,
I would think that would make it worse because if you're already fatigued, you would kind of exhaust yourself by doing exercise and things like that.
you would think so. And I think in the beginning, I had to obviously start off
Quite
slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But because it's building up your strength, your hormones, even your muscles, so
Yeah.
the muscles are able to support the joints and stuff, so you haven't got all of that pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me personally, before lupus, I was a very active person.
Okay.
Anyway. I've always, like from young, I've always been into sports and stuff like that. But I found I had to change the type of activities that I do.
You changed your exercise.
So, yeah.
So you were doing like, what were you doing before? So you're pre-lupus, and what you're doing after lupus? Like what changed?
So like pre-lupus, I was doing like a lot of long distance running sort of thing. But it was more like athletics, so like running and a bit of weight training. But after diagnosis, it was more, so I got into tennis.
Oh.
And
I know you play tennis because you've mentioned it a few times. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
okay, Serena.
Yeah, sorry, Serena.
I'll take it. Yeah, and it's a weird one because people say like tennis is hard on the body. You know, it's a lot of stopping and starting, but it's, for me, I don't know what it is. It's helped me. It's something I love. It takes your mind, and like with the mental thing of it as well, it just takes your mind away from stuff. So I do that. I've started swimming lessons,
Yeah, I need to start
yoga.
lessons. Yeah, yoga's okay.
You don't swim?
I don't swim.
Oh.
I got baptized and I almost drowned. So, so I don't swim. Okay, like my lesson. I thought I could. I was like, I could hear everyone. Let's like, oh my God, get me out of here. I was like, never again. I was like, water and me.
But you need to learn.
I know I need to learn. I need to learn before I have
My
kids.
husband actually taught me how to breaststroke. I can swim. Like they teach you in this country in like year 4. So
Yeah, I did get.
it's
I think I
cool.
got like the half certificate. I didn't get the full one, so I can do something, but I forgot. So I'm gonna go back before I have children. I'm gonna learn to swim because I can't.
Swimming
Be.
is key, is important.
But yeah, I can't swim.
Sorry.
But go on. But yeah, share your instructor because I could reach out to them. So yeah,
I got him speed down.
thank you. There we go. But no, I've heard great things about swimming. Actually, like it builds up muscle. It just makes you more flexible, and it's actually really good for like just managing your body. And I've heard so many good things about it. I feel like it's slightly underrated.
It is.
Because I've heard it does wonders.
Swimming is really good for you. Like really good for your like cardio, everything. It's really good for you. But yeah, again, underrated. And unfortunately,
Exactly.
us.
The
you know.
biggest thing was the hair. I must.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
I think that is.
Don't
what
want
it
to
is
say
for
it.
Black women. Like even to put on that swimming cap, you're like, no, my edges.
It's so tight. No.
Yeah, you're like, no, my edges are gonna get ripped out. So you don't
Literally.
even want to swim. So it's like, just leave it.
And when I was younger, was there not powder in that cap that would like?
Yeah, so you come out, your hair's all
My
white.
mom used to hate it, so maybe that's why I didn't
The
really.
new swimming caps are really good. Like they have some that are like, if you have like an afro, so like
It can just-
my daughter tends to have like a lot of braids. There's one you literally, and it goes over the
encapsulates
braids.
everything.
It takes.
I need that.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's one thing that's kind of stopping me and other things. So yes,
It's real good.
but no. Okay.
But is there anything else that you do to, like,
differently.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say I just pace myself now. It's like, because I know that I've only got like a certain amount of energy
Yeah.
Yeah.
per week, and I just have to kind of pace myself. Like,
No, I love that.
So yeah, and that's the thing as well. Like a lot of friends and stuff that I grew up with, they didn't understand. So it's like where I withdrew, they may not have understood that. So it's like the ride and dies, they're still there. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So, but it's just reevaluating what you need really, and I just had to reevaluate.
No, for sure, and that's important, especially with lupus.
Actually leads into the next question very nicely. So like, how has lupus impacted like your friendships, your relationships, dating?
Well,
Answer whichever ones you want, girl.
You
But
wanna know.
we know the one we want to hear.
We're just nosy.
Yeah, nosy.
But yes, only if you feel comfortable to share, obviously.
Of course.
So yeah.
put me on the spot. Yeah, no, it's been tough because, especially with it affecting my skin, it knocked my confidence a lot. Like it's even today, like it's still kind of there. But I must say, and I think because I have the vitiligo as well as the lupus, it's kind of, you know, you're in your prime, it's time you should be getting out there, and you know, so it kind of held me back a little bit. I think now that's in terms of like dating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think now I've got to a point where, along with some therapy, therapy
is
has
key.
helped, a lot. I would advocate for therapy.
Advocate for therapy over here.
We always do.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. Fair.
But I'm getting to a point now where I'm comfortable in my skin. Like even things like I remember when I first got it, I would not leave my house without makeup. I would just go to the shop that was literally 2 doors away, and I needed a full face of makeup, sort of thing. So I'm past that. Like on my day-to-day life, I'm makeup free, fine with that. But one of the things that has taken a lot of getting used to is because with lupus, you're sensitive to UV.
I was just, that was one of the things that I did read up about, like the sun to sunlight and things like that.
Yeah. And so one of the things that I've had to learn to do is I'm always in long sleeve clothes now. So I don't know if you notice, you never see me in short sleeve.
Oh yeah, that makes
Now I think of it.
Now I think about it. Yeah, you're right.
It's true, because summertime I was like, Leanne, are you not hot?
When I saw you, I was like,
I feel like that conference we went to, I was like, girl, it's hot. I know we were in
Honestly.
blazers because we were trying to look very
smart,
professional. Smart, you know?
No.
But I was like, girl, it's hot.
But no, I
Take it
remember.
off.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Because last year we had some event on the rooftop, and I was like, we had the short sleeve shirt we all wear, and then I was like, okay, I just felt fair. I didn't think much of it, but it's kind of hot though. But I was like, all right.
That makes sense.
So that's what that is.
Okay, so
like,
protective, yeah.
So people said, oh, use an umbrella. I'm like, no, I'm not using that. It's fine.
Who's using an umbrella like?
No, people do, like if they want to, like for shade.
Fair, still. And okay, fine.
Like, we're in the UK.
We're in the
Back
UK.
home, yeah, maybe.
Fine.
But, yeah,
Something that
You
whatever.
understand? It barely comes out.
Barely. But fair.
So yeah. So
Okay,
that's-
cool.
That's like one of those things. So like even with that, it's like even things like where maybe you're going out and stuff like that, I may not have tended to go out with any more of my friends as well, because I'm like, oh, I can't find anything to wear, like sort of thing. So just like minor things like that. But I think especially nowadays as well, because there's a lot more scare around like skin cancer and stuff.
Everyone's
You're
looking
seeing
at
a
this.
lot more. You're seeing a lot more clothing with the long sleeves.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how things have changed in the amount of time that I've had lupus as well, because it's a lot, I would say it's a lot easier now than it was.
Like way back when you first got diagnosed. Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, in terms of relationships, it does have an effect. It does have an effect. And even like the fact that you've obviously got the concern with like childbearing and stuff like that. So like even with that, how do you, like when you're dating, tell somebody, well, yeah, I have lupus and we need to plan a pregnancy. If this is going to happen. So it's them kind of things there. But with time.
And the right person or whatever.
Yeah, the right person will understand.
Literally.
So yeah.
It's a journey. It's a journey that someone needs to take with you. So yeah, but no. Okay, cool. No. We've learnt so many key things about lupus.
Honestly, yeah.
This is good.
Okay. So how do you deal with misconceptions about lupus from other people? So like people's maybe naivety, maybe just ignorance.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Do you try and educate them? Do you just leave them be?
And what have your experiences been as well with telling people? They're like, oh, like what's their initial reaction? Have you noticed anything?
Okay, so like back in the day, like especially with family, like, our culture,
Our people them. Yeah.
So
It's like,
our people.
I love them.
We love them. Yeah.
So, like I've been told things like I need to clean my blood.
Okay. How does one do that? How does one clean the blood?
Yeah, I've been told that it's the devil in my blood.
Oh Lord.
I've been told that. So there's a lot of, how can I put, especially in our community,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I think a lot more education needs to be put in there,
Definitely.
especially because it's something that affects us
Mm-hmm.
predominantly.
Mm-hmm.
But over the years as well, and I suppose it has helped a lot with like people like Tony Braxton,
Yeah.
Selena Gomez, and all of that coming
Oh yes,
out
you're right. You're right.
saying
Yeah.
it, because people are like, oh, okay, oh, so that's the same thing as what so and so's
Yeah.
got.
Mm.
So with understanding, those comments are becoming less and less.
Yeah.
But I still find with the older generation, it's like maybe because of what they know of it back in their time, they see it as almost like a death sentence. And it's like I have to explain to people it's not a death sentence. Like, yeah, the person you know may have had an issue with their kidneys or their lungs, and that's the complications that happened because of the lupus affecting that, you know, why they were affected that way. But mine's different. Lupus is different. I don't have any of those sorts of complications. I'm able to live a health. In fact, my general health is most probably better than yours.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's not a
Love that.
death sentence. I just
No.
need to change the way I do things. I may
Yeah.
not be able to do the things the way you do them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, especially with like a lot of like I have to wear sunscreen every day. And I know it's been put out there that we must wear sunscreen, but for a lot of our people, oh no, we don't need to wear no sunscreen.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
This black
Okay.
is not cracking.
I'm telling
Literally crack. I can't have it. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's I find, especially when people see me and like my demeanor and I'm talking about it, at first they're like, oh, I would have never thought you had lupus, sort of thing. And it's like, because of what you see out there, because I know it's within the UK as well, and I don't know if I can say this or not, but like in terms of when they're like raising awareness for lupus, you usually see white people in the lupus adverts and the stuff
That's
like
so
that.
interesting because the majority affects like women of color.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. Yeah.
And I was like,
So it's almost like they're focusing on the 10% as opposed to the 90 that are actually affected.
Yeah, it needs to
crazy.
literally be representative of the population that it affects. Period. Do you know what I mean? So that's
and
really
even
interesting.
showing the different types, because you hear of cutaneous lupus, but you never, like me personally, I never see it. I only see people with lupus who have their pure skin, you know? So it's like, show what it looks like, show what it can do, sort of thing. And I think, like, because a lot of the times as well, when people see my scarring, the first question they ask me is, oh, did you get burnt?
Okay, so they rather take it to like, okay.
Yeah.
Because they don't know, I guess. They
don't
don't think to be like, oh, okay.
And the thing is, the scarring's it's not like dark scarring. It's white. The skin's turned white.
Okay.
So it's like the first thing, and I don't take it as like a
personal thing.
Personal thing or an insult, but they're trying to figure out what is this sort of thing. So that's when I explain, no, it's
But it's good that you're educating them, because again, if you don't know, you don't know. So you can't. I feel like sometimes you can't be upset at someone for not knowing, because they literally don't know. So it's good that you are educating people that do have that curiosity around what it is. So that's great.
Yeah.
I've learned patience, but
I was gonna say that's my next point. You must be patient, because
you're a very patient person in general. Like I feel like you're super patient.
I've had to learn that.
Yeah.
Because believe me, there are times I'm like, and especially when they like say it with, and they don't mean to be
I can imagine.
ignorant, but when they say it a certain way, you're like, really?
Questionable.
But yeah.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
No, honestly, thank you, Leanne. Like seriously, thank you.
We're enjoying learning about lupus. Honestly.
I know, like this has been like
it's been very
informative for
educational.
us as well. Like we are learning a lot through you, so
Exactly.
this is great. Another question did want to ask you. So throughout your diagnosis journey, have you experienced any stigma or isolation based on your lupus?
No, not from people.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's more. It's all come from me.
Yeah,
Do you know
because
what
it's
I
a massive
mean?
change. Yeah,
but
exactly.
nobody has ever made me feel unworthy or you know.
Yeah,
but,
good.
So, and that's one of the things that I've had to deal with. Is like it's all in here.
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of thing. So yeah.
Amazing.
If you could look back and look forward, if that makes sense, what advice would you give yourself, like managing the journey to diagnosis and just becoming where you are now? Would you give yourself any tips, like, okay, do this, do that? Would you recommend yourself to do anything quicker, or would you say, oh, maybe hold back on that?
I think I would just say be kind to yourself.
Be kind, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Take time with yourself.
Mm.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think when it was all happening, and the thing is, I didn't know what was happening to my body and stuff. It was just like, well, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? And maybe me trying to force myself to do those things I was doing brought me even further back.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So take time, be kind.
Take time and be kind.
Okay, fair.
What would you like people to know about lupus? Like, as a bang, what would you like people to know about lupus?
What would I like people to know?
I feel like you've done a great job educating us all today.
Yeah, exactly.
But if there was just one thing you would want people to know, whether it be about the diagnosis, whether it be about the journey to diagnosis, whether it be about the care of it or how to upkeep, whatever it is, just that one thing, let's say, what would you want people to know about lupus?
I think it would be, don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would say, number one, don't give up. And two, this is not the end.
I love that. It is not the end.
Yeah.
No, not at all. If you could give someone one piece of advice who's struggling with their diagnosis, what would it be?
In terms of one piece of advice,
Yeah.
if they're struggling with diagnosis.
Yeah, if they're struggling to like accept the diagnosis, what
to
would you say?
accept it. One piece of advice if you're struggling to accept the diagnosis. It will come with time
Yeah.
because your body will tell you.
That you have lupus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your body will make you accept it.
Yeah, fair. Fair.
Okay.
So it'll come with time and just, yeah, it's a journey, isn't it? I feel like it's a journey. It's just a process. And it sounds like you've done the work internally, excellent, just to get yourself to be where you are today, which is a confident young woman. So, yeah.
Still doing the work.
It takes a minute.
Still got to do the work.
It takes a minute.
Oh, wow, it's not going to be an overnight thing.
No.
It hasn't been an overnight thing, but...
No, exactly.
But with ladies like you bringing awareness,
Oh,
so, you know.
thank you.
Trying to bring
Did you
awareness.
just hands on to?
I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did.
What's going on there?
No, it's up to in 2024.
Excuse me.
Isn't that still running?
Yeah.
I didn't
but-
realise.
Yeah, hands on to any day.
I had no clue.
Listen.
My bad.
But
no, thank you, honestly.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Leanne.
you
Like,
so
this has
much.
been great. Like, I've learned so much, honestly.
You've been so kind and gracious.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm so happy to have you.
No, thank you for
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good.
So for our listeners, those that maybe want to learn more about lupus or would like support with lupus, we would love to signpost you to Lupus UK. They have a helpline number, which we'll put on the screen. But the Lupus UK helpline number is 01708 731 251, and it's open 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Mondays to Friday. Again, that number is 01708 731 251. They also have a website that you can check out, which is lupusuk.org.uk. Again, that's lupusuk.org.uk, and an email that you can contact, which is headoffice@lupusuk.org.uk. Again, that's headoffice@lupusuk.org.uk. They are also on Insta at lupus_UK. So check out their page. They have a link to their youth page as well. So ping them a message, try and get all the help and support you can. Understand that you are not alone. There are resources and people to help you.
Yes. Can I just say those resources have helped me out?
Really
Yay!
amazing. And you know what I like about them as well? When we look at the website, when you want to contact someone, the people that you contact, they actually have lupus themselves, they've said. So they can really relate. So I thought that was really amazing. So definitely reach out and have someone to speak to that can actually relate and, give advice or be a support system. So well done, Lupus UK. Yay.
So no, thank you for sharing that, Leanne. Really, I really appreciate it. And hopefully your story does help people out there that either don't know about lupus or have lupus and are not too sure, will hopefully be able to push them to go and get the help that they need. Oh,
Yay!